So I was going to talk about EA and them dropping an online pass and how they're changing for the better. But fuck that, Xbox One reveal. Fantasy football, snapping, full TV browsing, motion and voice controls, 15 exclusives. Seriously, is this what Microsoft actually think gamers want? TV connections, music integration, and voice control snapping back and forth between my gaming and everything else? Oh, and fantasy football? With all the focus on TV, music and movies, motion and voice, and the new specs, not a lot was talked about on the gaming side besides showing us stuff for new games that look like they could be played on the current Xbox 360. So let's talk about the gaming side and take a look at some of the stuff that not revealed but posted while and after the press conference was taking place. First off, it is not, I repeat, not backwards compatible, which they say is because of the new hardware system and Blu-ray player. But that was bullshit when Sony tried to play that, so why not hold them to the fire just the same? The system also essentially blocks used game sales by now pairing each new game with a one-time activation code, linking the game with your console and account. So trading games, or better yet, letting a friend borrow the game, is now out of the question, unless you want to pay a fee to allow it. And this is far worse than anything EA itself did when it was using its online passcodes. At least then you could always play the single-player or offline features of the game itself at yours or a friend's house. And the always online system requirement is a real thing in a way. So the Xbox One does require an internet connection to run, according to Phil Harris, VP of Microsoft. The system won't disconnect you from a single player game right off the bat. You will, however, need to be online at least once a day to retain access to your purchased software though. So I guess people without internet are just boned for wanting to play anything at all, including single player games. So Microsoft is doing all this to what? Hurt the used games market and consumers for charging to use the very game they already purchased at a friend's house, including one-time use activation codes, a version of always online connection for their console, and pretty much skipping the majority of gaming features for TV, sports, movie integration. Oh, and fantasy football. So we have a TV middleman, fantasy football expert, movie and music controller, voice and motion operated, oh, and it can play games as well, at a cost to the consumer on multiple levels. Good game, Microsoft. Good game. And on an added note, I would have given Microsoft credit for showing the console itself, had it not been for all the stuff they skipped and didn't bother to tell us until later in posts and forums, and by the journalists themselves that asked those questions after the live stream conference went off, after the reveal was done, stuff they didn't think was important enough to do. Maybe they'll do it at E3, maybe they won't, who knows. A lot of this isn't fully set in stone. There are some things that can change, like the always online connection setup. Something like that can be switched in the hardware settings. Things like the codes are probably going to stay there. All in all, pretty disappointing review. It didn't target an audience of gamers. It targeted an audience of people that live in the living room, people that watch TV all the time. It's a media box. It's not a gaming console anymore. So that's the way they're going. I mean, Sony did the same thing with the PS3 when it first came out, and now they're switching to games with the PS4. So Microsoft just wants the living room again. So whether that's a good thing or a bad thing for us, I don't know. I kind of don't want to pay all those extra features for stuff I'm never going to use. So tell me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. And as always, thank you for watching. This is Whinterfell. See you in the next video.